The year 2001 saw the liquidation of Uganda Airlines after nearly 25 years in operation. It had been operating 26 destinations in Africa, Europe and the Middle East. The airline had nearly 2,000 employees with no aircrafts to run. One of the Boeing jets had crashed in Rome, while the other was grounded after being declared junk. Efforts to save the aircraft started and the number of employees was reduced to about 400. New planes were leased from Air Zimbabwe and Australia to operate the airline's routes, especially to Europe. But this did not help. Although efforts to partner with a private investor to start Air Uganda to maintain the national carrier were made, they were short-lived as it collapsed in 2014 because it did not conform to international safety and flying standards. But the country did not give up, and today, after years of planning, Uganda has started rebuilding her fleet. For many, this has been long overdue.
Generally, we did a study one time and we realized that actually a very good percentage, a very good portion of the money that it spends goes on air transport. So we think that with the revival of Uganda Airlines, definitely we shall have more money coming to the country.
Dr. Wilbur Manyisa of the Biodiversity and Tourism at Makerere University says that this time the aircraft should be run as a competing business.
If it's going to run like a government parastatal, whereby people don't pay, whereby there are delays, whereby they don't keep schedules, whereby they don't keep their services, they don't mind about safety, definitely we don't see it being competitive and being maintained.
Captain Francis Babu, a former pilot with the East African Airways, concurs with Dr. Ahebwa, but says that emphasis on local flights should be prioritized to tap into the tourism sector.
When I was in East African Airways, we used to have Entebbe, Kasese, Kidepo, and back to Entebbe. This was for tourists. You take a group from Entebbe, take them to Murchison National Park, Queen Elizabeth, pick up people from there, take them to Kidepo, then pick them up again and bring them to Entebbe, and then they get an aeroplane and they go. Actually, we used also to go further. Take them to Entebbe and then they go to the coast in Mombasa, which they wanted to do. Now, these are all part of the marketing team.
Another professional pilot, Captain Mike Mukula, fears that politicizing matters around the carrier could result in a repeat of history.
Government must find a way at any other time from priming or bringing its hands into the direct operations of the airline. The Uganda Airline must be left to operate as a business enterprise in a competitive environment devoid of any politics. Number two, we must ensure that the airline is fully capitalized. At no single time, especially in this formative beginning, should we undermine or starve the airline of its operating capital. This airline will break even in a very short time.
Mukula advised on how maintenance costs can be minimized.
A maintenance hangar for this aircraft is built in Entebbe, rather than subjecting this airline or this equipment to maintenance outside in Europe or South Africa, because this will quickly bleed the revenue flows of the airline.
But how will the question of marketing be dealt with?
The government, for example, comes up with a policy that all government officials who are flying use Uganda Airlines. And so in a way, you are creating a market for it.
We have a lot of Ugandans who are highly qualified and who can do this job with a little bit of training. Because you could have done marketing, but done marketing in general. And therefore, to orientate you into the aviation industry, you have to undergo training. So we can outsource experts who can train our people so that they can be at a standard.
For many, Uganda can rest easy with the knowledge that in addition to the 2 vessels that arrived today, another 2 Boeing Airbus planes will be arriving in the near future. This, it is hoped, will grow a bigger fleet to place Uganda in a position where it could ably compete with other regional airlines. Solomon Kawesa, NTV.